Hi, everybody. Happy New Year, and I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Just wanted to share these with you real quick. These are my action slash martial arts slash epic films in my Asia cinema collection. So let's just run through these real quick. First up is 13 Assassins. This is one of my all-time favorite films in general, but this is definitely one of my top favorite Asian films. If you are not familiar with this is based on a true historical moment in ancient China, and based on ceiling light, but based on 13 Ronin. Love this steelbook. Definitely one of my favorite steelbooks. Most of my steelbooks I have recently sold. I just decided I just didn't want to continue with my steelbooks, so I've just switched out back to my Blu-rays, regular Blu-rays. But this one I will never sell. But anyway, this is based on the true story of 13 Ronin, which are samurai who no longer have masters, and who go up against this evil, and I mean really, this evil sadomasochistic ruler, who basically is terrorizing, torturing, oppressing, abusing the people. And they finally have had enough, and they're like, this man needs to go. And he's a young man. He's only like in his 20s to be so evil. And they're like, finally go. He needs to go. So they're up against like 1,000 of his soldiers, and they know it's basically a possible suicide mission, but they are still determined to try to assassinate him. And it is one of the most authentic, man, just gut-wrenching, edge of your seat, engrossing films. I remember when I first saw it, when it first came out, I was blown away, and I was like, man, we have not had a film like this in so long. It almost feels like a 70s samurai film. I love this film so much. Don't get me started on that. Anyway, next up is Bodyguards and Assassins. And again, sorry for that stupid ceiling light. I didn't even think about that, but the reflection. But anyway, here's Bodyguards and Assassins. When I get foreign films, I always try to get the original imports. That's just the purist in me. You know, I like to see the original cover art and everything. This is Bodyguards and Assassins with Donnie, though they like to focus on him as being the lead. He is part of an ensemble cast, which you see a lot of them back here. I love this movie so much. Another film based on a true historical moment in Chinese history. This is the Blu-ray release that eventually came out in the States. And yeah, it's amazing. You get these people who are who volunteer, not hire, but volunteer to guard a man who is getting ready to start the rebellion against the royal family, and because they want a democracy. So the queen finds out about it and tries to thwart their efforts and sends these assassins out to kill him. But they create a decoy, so as you see here, there's one of them, but there's two, and they have to go down all of these streets to get to the meeting place. And they're fighting along the way, trying to protect this. It is the most amazing thing. I love that movie so much, so much. And these people, most of them didn't even know who he was. They just supported the effort. They supported the civil rebellion. You know, they wanted democracy, and they just did it for the right reasons. Not because they even knew the man. They didn't even know who he was. They didn't know who was in, I'm saying carriages, but that's not what they call them. Ugh, it won't come to me right now. Phenomenal film. Anyway, Call of Heroes. Good movie. Good movie. Good movie. I have to watch it again. Actually, I only watched it the one time when it came out, and I think I was really, really, really too tired to watch it. I don't like watching movies when I'm tired because you don't fully get the whole experience, you know. So I need to watch it again. It's been a while. Next up, Curse of the Flower. Love this movie. A cinematic feat. Oh, and Chow Yun-fat is amazing in this. I will eventually get the Blu-ray. This is definitely one of those movies. If you like it, you need to get it on Blu-ray just to have that final pop. I mean, the DVD transfer is stunning. It really is. So I guess that's why I'm not in a hurry. But I can only imagine what it also looks like on Blu-ray. Oh, talk about family drama, uh, royal family drama, backstabbing, twists, family secrets, um, just so much ugliness going on. It's so good. And when everything comes out in the open, it just, it's so good. Anyway, next up, Dragon Tiger Gate. Just letting you all know, I'm a big Donnie Yen fan. I was a fan of his, long before he became mainstream in the States. And I was so happy when he finally did and he was able to get exposure here so people could see how awesome he is. But this is Dragon Tiger Gate. This is based on a comic book series. I never read the series, and I think they also had an animated series for this. But that's Donnie Yen in the middle. One of the best stances in martial arts, hands down, period. I dare you to argue with me on that. I know some people may say Tony Jaa, but I don't remember Tony Jaa having like a stance per se. But one of the best stances. Like, if he gets in that stance, you better leave, because he's about to kick your butt. Next up, Enter the Dragon. Bruce Lee. I love this one. That's my favorite. Next up is the Ip Man trilogy. Ip Man, the first one, is what really branched him out into in the West, and I was so happy. The movie was so good, and I was so glad when people were like, "Oh my God!" And then after that, people started researching and getting into his other movies, and I was so happy about that. And this has the trilogy, so that's stunning. This is, again, as you can see, one of the steelbooks that I kept. I will never get rid of this. Here are the original releases out of order that I will be keeping. When they first released in the States, they only came out on DVD first, and then the Blu-ray came out. That was back in the days when it wasn't always a given that a Blu-ray was going to be released at the same time as the DVD. So, and I'm keeping these because the slip covers are just beautiful. As you can see, the artwork is stunning. They have a satin finish to them. They feel amazing, and they have this beautiful embossing. So yeah, I will always keep these. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. Try not to get out of order. Next up is, sorry for the light again, is Exiled, another original import. This movie is so freaking crazy. This is Exiled. Okay, how can I summarize this? Okay, it's about a group of friends who grew up in like a Chinese mafia, and it is Chinese, right? Yeah, okay. I watched so many movies from, South Korea, China, Japan. But anyway, so they grew up in the mafia together. And one of them decides he wants to get out. He tries to kill the mob boss. It goes very bad. He doesn't succeed. So the mob boss puts a hit out on him as a retaliation and a punishment. So who does he send? He sends two of his best friends to kill him. And they go to his house to kill him. But the other three best friends also show up to protect him. So now they're at a standoff. It is this movie is crazy. So then I could tell you the twist. It's not a big deal because it's like in the trailer. It's in the synopsis of the movie. But he goes, the friend they come to kill, he goes, "Okay, look, I know I messed up. I have to take my punishment, but look, could you help me just do this one last job I was getting ready to do so I can leave money for my wife and my newborn baby?" And the friends go, "Okay." And then he goes, "After we do the job, then you can kill me." And everyone agrees. But what happens thereafter, you have to see it to believe it. That's all I have to say. It is so good. Great action movie. Next up, Jet Li's Fearless. Everybody knows that. And then we have Jet Li's Fist of Legend, classic. Oh my goodness, just classic. And next up, we have Flashpoint. Eventually, I'll get this Blu-ray too. But I do love the slipcover. Love this movie. Seriously, this movie is known for having one of the longest fight scenes ever, and I think it still holds the record. Donnie Yen's action choreography, his fight choreography, I'm sorry, which he is very well known for, and he's won many awards for his fight choreography in films, and this is a pure example of his talent. It just, oh my goodness, that movie, love it. Next up is The Good, the Bad, the Weird. As I like to call it, it is an Eastern Western. And yes, obviously it's a takeoff the film The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. But it's a little spin on it, but it's not a remake of the movie, let's be clear. And I love this. This is a media book. It looks like old leather. And it also stars Lee Byung-hun, who I love. And it looks like old leather. As you can see, it's all cracked. And this is a media book from Germany. This is one of my all-time favorite film soundtracks. I looked for this for years, the soundtrack, and could not find it. It's discontinued, and that's not what I'm trying to say. It's out of print, and could not find it. I like look, and then I saw that it was in this media book, which is how I ended up with the media book. So now on the soundtrack, and for people who love the soundtrack, like I do, if you're ever interested in it, just know that the soundtracks CDs are region free. So yeah, you can play them anywhere. Freaking love it. Love that movie. It is so freaking good, and the opening sequence is just to die for. Anyway, The Great Wall. Now, this is one I had to think about. Do I put it in my regular action movies, or do I put it in my Asian movies? And I just figured, you know what? The movie is 95% Asian. It's an Asian director. It's except for 3 people who are not Asian. The rest of the cast is Asian. They're speaking their language. It takes place at the Great Wall. It's an Asian movie. There you go. So this movie is so much fun to me. I think it's just people are too hard on it. I had a blast with it, and the more I watch it, every time I watch it, I like it more and more. And it is stunning. Oh my goodness, the colors, the armor, the ancient weaponry. Just a fun movie. Anyway, Hero, Jet Li's Hero. Another one. I love the whole concept that with each fight that Jet Li has, and there's my boy Donnie Yen. With every fight he has, it's in a different color. So like one fight, the whole color scheme is blue. Another one, the color scheme is white. Another one, the color scheme is purple or something like that, or black. It is just a cinematic feast for your eyes, and it's an awesome movie. I love the whole plot line of the movie. Next up, Infernal Affairs. This is like the special collector's edition. This again is an original import release. This movie, I love this movie, and this is another movie that was remade. The Departed is a remake of this, Infernal Affairs. I'm sorry, I didn't like The Departed. Love this movie. For me, more times than not, the remakes are failures to me. I just do not, I think there's maybe one remake that I've ever liked. So this one is so good. I love Infernal Affairs. Next up is Killzone. The original name is Sao Polong, aka SPL. In this movie, we finally got Donnie Yen and Sammo Hung together. Oh my God, that fight scene. Sammo Hung tells you, man, he shows you, don't matter how old you are, you can still kick butt. This movie. And what's interesting is the backdrop of it takes place on Father's Day, which is something I always said I was going to look into. So obviously Father's Day is a big thing in China. I did not know that. I mean, we know it is here in the States, but I was intrigued by that when I first saw that years ago. Next up, yes, I'm a huge fan again of Donnie Yen. This is Kung Fu Killer. I love this movie. The original title is Kung Fu Jungle. For whatever reason, when it was released here in the States, they changed it to Kung Fu Killer. I guess they just figure all Americans just love violence, so we're going to change it to Killer. I'm just, I'm personally offended by that. It's just ignorant. But anyway, love this movie. Um, if you're not familiar with a quick premise, Donnie Yen is a master. He gets in a fight. He ends up, the guy accidentally gets killed. So he ends up in prison. And while he's in prison, masters are being killed off one by one. Not like murdered with a gun, but in a martial arts battle. So every time that this person kills a master, he obtains that master's special skill. And by that I mean, like, some masters have one specialty. Like Donnie Yen, he has like 10. Like, he is a master in like so many forms of martial arts. It's crazy. But what I love what they did with this film is that each master highlights a specialty. It's phenomenal. So each fight is different. Each fight looks different. Each fight feels different. Like, one specialty is with the staff. Another specialty is his footwork. Another specialty is with his hands. Another specialty I can't remember if it was like nunchucks or something, but oh my goodness, love this. So all you have to know is that, yeah, eventually there is a final battle. And yeah, you know it's with Donnie Yen. And yeah, it is one of the most phenomenal things. And it shows you just why Donnie Yen is one of the top martial arts film choreographers, because, oh, just gotta say that. Okay. Next up, again, Donnie Yen, Legend of the Fist, The Return of Chen Sen. And again, this is a import original. Oh, I love it. Another one, Donnie Yen, yes, yes, yes. The Lost Bladesman. I enjoyed this movie a lot. Unfortunately, he got a lot of huff and puff. Everybody was just like, Guan Yan Chang, who was like one of the greatest warriors ever in history. He's like, he doesn't look anything like him. He's too short, because Guan Yan Chang was like very tall in stature, very powerful. He had, please, people, get over it. He was good in it. He was good in it. The Man from Nowhere. Love this movie. It's hard to say you love this movie because it's so depressing and it's so disturbing and it's so sad, but it's so good. I love the slip cover. It has like these shards of glass, which my only guess is they're taking it from the scene where he jumps out of a window. It's not a spoiler. It's just what happens. Love this. Oh my gosh, the ending, like just everything in this movie. I'm not gonna pick. Next up, Red Cliff. This is the original international version. Now, if eventually you have to get the Blu-ray, but if you're ever interested in renting this or buying this movie, just know you need to get the international version. For whatever reason, when it came over to the States, it was edited and cut, so you do not get the full versions of both films, because when this movie was released in Asia, it was released in two parts. So like 1 year part one came out, and then the next year part two came out. And so I guess they edited to condense the movie, and it pissed me off when they did that. So I was so glad they eventually released the film in its original version. So international version. Again, that one's another story based on a true historical event in ancient China. Another true story, another film based on a true story. I love history. I'm a history buff anyway, a world history buff, but I love it when movies are about different moments in history. This is Saving General Yang. I am so in love with this movie. Quick backdrop. This is a movie about General Yang, who is one of the top generals in the world, and his sons are also some of the top warriors. And there are a lot of jealous, envious generals because of it. And during a battle with a returning enemy, one of the envious generals leaves their father, General Yang, behind enemy lines to die. And they retreat and leave him no support. So General Yang's wife knows the only way he can possibly have a chance is if his sons go after him to rescue him. And she sends her 7 sons. She only has 7 children and they're all boys, and she sends her 7 sons after them. This is the most amazing movie, and it's heartbreaking. Oh my goodness, it is so good though. I love it. I'm in love with that family. I'm in love with those boys. I'm in love with their father. Just good people, and you just want them all to live. But you know it's not going to be possible. You already know it. It's not a spoiler. Shaolin. It's a good one. I have not seen this movie in eons. I have to watch this again. Yeah. Jackie Chan is in this. He's not in it a whole lot, but he's in it. If you're a fan of Jackie Chan. As you notice, I don't have any Jackie Chan movies. I like Jackie Chan, but I'm not in love with his style of movies, so I don't know any. Sherry. Oh my gosh, such a great, what would you call it? Mystery, drama, assassin film. Every time I see this cover, it pisses me off because they just give away the twist of the story. Because the whole point of it is like the agents, which are like our FBI agents or whatever, have been looking for this assassin for years. And they can't ever catch the person. They don't know who the person is. Well, you know now because they give away the freaking twist of the movie. Now you know it's a woman. Hello, right here. God, why do they do that kind of thing? Last one. Wuxia. Is it Wuxia? It's not Wuxia, it's Wuxia, if I remember. I love the cover. I love that. Look at that. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can really see it. It's like, I love that. Yes, this is Donnie Yen. This is a great, like, detective action movie. Okay, guys, that is it. Wanted to share that with you real quick. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Honestly, I don't know how many more videos I'm going to do. But that's a story for another time. I will talk to you later. Bye.